I love that intro. I love that intro. It's like
if you do say so
flashy
yourself.
What's that?
I said if you do say so yourself.
If I do say so myself, I like the flashing stuff and I like the little dots on the number, and I'm just like, yeah, intro. That intro means one thing. It is Wednesday again, and it is time for Money Hungry. What's up, Kim? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am like energetic. I'm stoked. We got a special guest that I'm really excited to talk about. I am feeling much better this week, so my energy is largely coming back. So sorry for the lack of a voice last week and the hacking fits. So new week, feeling much better. Wanted to say hello to a few people in the chat before we get started. Jen, what's up? Welcome. That's me. Hi, me. Thomas, what's going on? Good to see you. Raised on Scrabble, welcome. Gary, hello. Sergio, what's up, brother? And Holly, hello. And Anthony, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you all for being here. So,
okay,
Kim.
So on that note, I want to introduce our special guest tonight. I am so excited. A really good friend of the show, a good friend of ours, and I feel like he's like one of the smartest people like I have ever known because he has created some amazing apps that help all of us drivers out. I'm a huge fan, so I am going to bring you into the show, Mr. Gary Middleton. How are you, my friend?
What's up, Gary?
I'm good. How are you?
Hold on. I was supposed to
Pretty
do this.
good, man.
She was supposed to do that.
Oh, so we got the slide.
Wait, why didn't you just put one of my apps on that screen?
You know what, man? Okay, I'm going to go on a tirade for a minute. When I was editing these last night, I had actually taken a screenshot of your website, and I was trying to get the curvature right on that screenshot to put it on the background of the phone. And for the life of me, I could not get the curves right, and it just looked weird. And I finally got mad and said, "Screw it."
Oh, you should just emailed it to me. I could have done it in like 10 minutes.
You know, I mean, if I wanted to put it in Photoshop and stuff, I'm sure I could have gotten it, but I was like going for the quick, like I got to get through these slides tonight type of thing. So anyway, Gary, welcome. We're grateful to have you. Thanks. We're grateful to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do.
Yeah, I'm a full-time gig worker. Of course, I do all the apps with everybody else. I got 20 apps on my phone. I counted for you, Kim, just from last night.
You have me beat.
She has 14.
24.
I have 20.
Yeah. 20.
You have 24?
No. Sorry. I was thinking about what you were saying. You have 20.
Yeah, I have 20 that I work. And so, but I'm also an app developer as well. So I do create apps for gig workers and companies and other things like that. I got a few games out there, little time passers, as you will. And so, yeah, that's what I do. I'm just all over the place.
So what was your motivation initially to create your first app for gig workers?
Safety. Because whenever I started doing gig work, I was actually a safety director at a trucking company. And so, but my company got bought out by another bigger company. But there was going to be a month span before we could all move over to the new company because they had to get a security clearance. They had to set up our emails and all this stuff, get us offices. And so there was a lot to do in that month, but they paid us to be off. But I was like, well, I can't just sit at home and do nothing. So I started Uber driving. And this is 2015. So I've been doing this a while. I started Uber driving and Lyft driving and things like that. And back then, whenever you did Uber, it's not like it is today. I mean, they had like bright screens that flashed. You could barely see anything on the screen because you was driving at night. And it's like, And then we also had the multiplier surge back then. And so when you're trying to work late night bar rush, you get an 8x surge and these pings are just coming back to back and you're trying to multi-app and turn off another app. It doesn't work because then Uber keeps popping up. And it's very annoying, not very safe while you're trying to drive. So that's why I started being from safety, and I've always dabbled in some type of coding. I was like, well, let me learn how to do Android because that's what I had. I was like, let me learn how to do Android so I can make myself something to drive safer. And then, of course, my friends seen it that I was using. They was like, hey, can I have that too? And I was like, sure. So then I just started passing out to all the drivers as I've seen them, talking with them and stuff like that. And it took about a year before I actually put it out to the public from there.
Okay.
So, because
that's a pretty good test run then.
Well, yeah, I mean, I worked for I went back to my W-2. So I was off for that month at Uber, and then I went back to my W-2, and then I did Uber again, like part-time, weekend, stuff like that during bar surges. But then, like, I don't know, 4 months into it, I was like, I hate this company. Like the new company, I just hated it because, like, my old company, I only got emails whenever they were directed towards me. The new company, I was getting about 300 emails a day because I got the whole company's email list. So every department went through safety. And I was like, this is dumb. It stressed me out. I was like, screw it. I quit. I went back to full-time doing gig work.
Okay.
Don't blame you. So why don't you run down the apps you have? What do they do? And how do they help each gig worker out?
Okay, so we'll start with Maximo. Of course, that's the very first app I ever created. That's for Uber drivers, Uber Eats drivers, Lyft drivers, Grubhub drivers. If you're in Australia, it's also for Diddy and Ola as well. That is what I call an app switcher. It can accept or decline offers based off your own personal preferences that you set inside the app. And then once it does, it'll actually switch over and turn off the other apps for you and then bring you back to your current app. And so that way you don't even have to touch your phone. It'll automatically accept it, turn everything off, take you back to your original app, and you're still driving. No touching of your phone.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so it has other things in there too. Like it'll show you if you're an Uber driver, for example, or rideshare driver, it'll show you events within a 50-mile radius. If you like to work surges and things like that, it'll show you all the events going on in your area. I mean, there's just so much to that app. There's, I don't know, filters after filters. You can define it any way you like for your own personal settings. Yeah,
Wow.
there's so much to Maximo.
So I'm assuming you still spend a lot of time maintaining these apps as well, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I work full-time-ish because if I don't have a major issue on an app, then I'll be out working in the field. By working in field, I get to test my own apps as well, know any issues that come up, things like that. But I still maintain gig work and the apps at the same time. So,
okay. So you've got Maximo. What else do you do?
Yep. I also have the driver's utility helper, also known as DUH. Everybody knows it as DUH. That is similar to Maximo, except for it is only for DoorDash drivers. So you can go in there, you can tell DUH, I only want to accept this, or if it's below this amount, decline it. And the app will do it for you. It also has things like speak to me. Some people, they don't want things accepting or declining for them. You don't have to use those features. It also has speak to me, which means that when the order comes in, it'll actually tell you everything that's coming in. So it'll say order from McDonald's, total pay $12 per mile rate, $2. And then since it also has voice commands in there, you can actually tell it verbally to accept or decline it.
So that is what the app should have been doing all along, in my opinion. So you are the unsung hero trying to do what I've been screaming at them to do.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, all my apps are based around some sort of safety feature. That's how I market them. I know a lot of people like, well, can you make more money with it? Well, if you accept more, you make more. That's how it goes. But all my stuff is to make you safer on the road, because that overall, we see people all the time. They got in their hand looking at it. That's not very safe. I mean, there's so many different options you could do besides that. And so I just wanted to create an app, especially during the pandemic, because that's when DUH came out, is in the pandemic, 2020, March 2020. Drivers, we had more than enough delivery drivers then. It was like, whoa, people getting crazy out here.
Yeah.
So is there a reason why DUH only has DoorDash, or is it something you're going to expand later to other apps?
No, DUH only has DoorDash. Maximo has all the rest of the apps. Maximo is built for on-demand systems, and DoorDash is not an on-demand system because you have to take a schedule to work with DoorDash. And so Maximo, since it's an app switcher and it turns off your other apps, it can't turn off DoorDash. So the only thing you can do is pause your dash. But then if you stay paused for more than 35 minutes, you lose your dash. If you're not a top dasher, you can't get back on the schedule.
Yeah.
And
okay, that makes sense.
so Maximo can pause your DoorDash and unpause your DoorDash for you. It just can't end it or restart it. And so that's why it's not built into Maximo, because there's so many things that happen for these apps. It's really hard to build a non open app into something that works with open apps.
Okay. So, and you've got one other app, correct?
For gig workers, I have two other apps.
Two others. Okay.
Yeah. I got Flex Alert, which is for the Amazon drivers out there. It's sort of like a P2P alert system. Basically, it works two different ways. One, you go in there, you set your parameters, and you tell it what you want it to alert you to. So it doesn't have as breakdown like Maximo and DUH do, because it doesn't auto accept.
Okay.
Because that would give an unfair advantage to people that don't have the app, since Amazon is a first come, first serve system.
Okay.
So Flex Alert, what you do is you turn it on, you go to your Amazon app to the station screen where you see all your orders, or all your blocks, is what Amazon calls it. And whenever a block pops up that matches your filters, Flex Alert will give you an audible alert letting you know, hey, there's something on the screen you want to look at. Okay. I don't know if you've ever done Amazon, but to get a block, you have to sit there and tap your screen all day long, over and over and over.
So you just got to keep watching it.
Yeah, you got to keep watching your phone. Try to do that while you're driving.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, why would you? So I developed Flex Alert again for myself. Other drivers started seeing me. There's like, what is that? What is that sound? Because I'm sitting, at a station, or I'm sitting at a Whole Foods. They're all like, what is that sound? I'm like, oh, that's just my app. And they're like, what's it do? And I told them, I said, it refreshes the screen for me and gives me an audible alert. They was like, how do I get that? I was like, I guess I can put it on the Play Store.
Right on.
And since then, it's evolved since that. Now, if there's another driver in your market that has the app as well, when they see a block, it'll alert your phone that there's a block available as well.
Okay.
So that way you don't miss out on blocks if you're doing something else. But like I said, that's the P2P part. It does require other drivers in your market to use the app. The good thing, though, I don't charge for that app. It's completely free. There are ads in the app, though. If you don't want the ads, you can pay $20 a year to remove them. Yeah, it's super cheap. Yeah, it's super cheap.
I feel like I'm so bitter about Amazon Flex because I've been on their wait list for like a year and a half. So like I'm like, and they're open. Like they've been trying to open a warehouse by me for like probably a year, and it's just been sitting empty. And I'm like, why build a warehouse if it's just gonna sit there empty when you can have drivers like my fantastic self helping you out? But nope.
Blame your legislation for that, though. That's what it is. It's either your state or your city holding them up. Because Amazon, they throw, as soon as the state gives them, they'll have a warehouse up in a month. I got like 4 now in Oklahoma.
Oh, it got built quickly. It got built within like 2 or 3 months. It was done. And it's now just been sitting there.
Yeah, something must have happened with the state or something for them to not use it.
So good. You've got one more.
Yeah, the last one is a recent app. Actually, it's been around I don't know how long now. Less than 6 months. I started developing it about 3 months ago. It's the Gig Wars app, and that app lets you actually compete with other drivers in the United States to see who can make the most money. And so it's just something really fun to do. Again, it's a free app. There are ads in it, or you can pay for some premium features that we're rolling out here in the future. But right now, it is completely free. Anybody can sign up. Anybody can join a war. Anybody can start a war. And you just get to go around and compete.
So you mean to tell me that Kim and I could finally put this Top Dasher cherry picker debate to rest once and for all, and I could stomp her?
Yeah.
Oh, you know I would kick your butt.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Gary, would I kick his butt?
I don't know. What
Kim?
Now, well, Zach, do you do RideShare?
No.
Oh, then yeah, Kim, you kick his butt.
Thank you.
Man, you guys have so little faith. Watch. I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to wipe the floor with Kim.
Here's the thing. I don't like to lose.
Program, you're sunk.
Like, I don't like to lose either. I'm a terrible loser. And so, like, we did a Gig Wars beta test war, and I won it. And like, Red, my partner in the Gig Wars app, she was gaining on me. And I told her, I said, I will be out here working till midnight just to beat you. I do not lose gracefully. And we will actually have a war before I lose. And we've noticed that on other people too. Like, if you actually invest yourself into the war, you tend to work more and make more money. And it's not that the app will make you more money. It's just you're so competitive. You're like, oh, I'm going to take this order because I need that extra $6 to beat Kim.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Oh, don't get me wrong, Kim. I can be competitive too when I need to be. So, I see something. I see something in the works here.
I think we should do it. I think it'd be fun.
Gary, where can people find your apps?
Gary'sApps.com, right here on the hat.
All right.
Very simple. Yeah,
all
right. all my apps for gig workers are listed there, and we also have a Gig Wars official YouTube channel. Just go type in Gig Wars official. That's where everybody comes to hang out. If you're doing a war, come hang out there. If you want to have an official war, we actually give away free merch for that to the winners. And so, yeah.
Kim, I challenge you to an official war.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
We should.
Yeah. All you got to do is download the Gig Wars app, come hang out on the channel during the official war. So that way people can talk to you, and see how your day's going. You don't have to be there the whole time, but we do ask that some people hang out in there. So that way everybody can have fun together.
All right. We've even got Sergio. Sergio's going to have to put up some money, and we're going to have to start doing some bookie shit and taking bets here.
Yeah. Well, I just had it actually. Last weekend I had a DOH weekend war, and I actually gave away $100 to the winners, plus free months of DOH. So there's always little things going on with the apps.
Okay.
Even Sergio agrees with me, so that's all that matters.
I'm trying to.
Oh, you're crackling on us.
Yep.
So, quick question just for you, Gary. So, if you had to go, besides the United States, if you had to go work and then go develop an app in a whole different country, it could be any country, what would it be?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list to visit. Yeah.
That would actually be.
Do you want to introduce the next one while I fix this?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we are going to move on. So everybody can find all of these fantastic apps on Gary'sApps.com. You can find Maximo Duh and also Gig Wars and the
Flex Alert.
Flex Alert.
Flex Alert.
And go sign up for them today because they are truly fantastic. Okay, so the first topic we have today is the new Doordash Rewards Program. So have you guys heard about it? I feel like everybody's been talking about it. I know I've talked about it. I know Zach has talked about it. So I figured we would do a quick rundown if anybody has not heard of what's been the pilot program and how it's going to affect drivers, and who knows if it's going to come to a market near you anytime soon. So sorry, go ahead, Zach.
No, yeah. So you can go ahead and take it here. I was mainly just wanted to test the mic.
Oh, okay. So DoorDash is testing a pilot program. It's a rewards program. Right now, it is in 3 cities. There are 2 cities in Texas and 1 in Michigan that is being rolled out to. Basically, there's different tiers. There's silver, gold, and platinum. The biggest changes is in the platinum tier. They are basically taking the large order program. They're taking Top Dasher. I'm trying to think what else was there. The diamond program. Basically, they're doing away with all those programs and rolling them all into platinum. The kicker is, for platinum, you basically have to have the Top Dasher standards and you have to maintain them, being the key word, in order to stay platinum. So you have to have a 70% acceptance rate, you have to have a 95% completion rate, and a 4.7 customer service, and I believe 100 deliveries in the last month in order to gain that status. But the key word is maintain. It's no longer you have like the last week and everybody goes through hell week. No, you have to maintain it. So this is the new rewards program. So what do you guys think?
I think it's practically the exact same thing that we've had all along, except DoorDash is trying to squeeze more orders in without having to pay drivers more for them. This is garbage. Just let us drive whenever we want. Give us transparency. Don't try to trick us and piss down our back and tell us it's raining. Just give us transparency.
I agree with the transparency part. And say, however, I think that people who, and this is mainly geared towards like large order program, for those dashers who have wanted access to large order program and can't get on because it's so secretive and so lucrative, like this is their opportunity to possibly see some of those large orders consistently, but you have to maintain it at a platinum level. If I were to go on it today, I would be platinum because I maintain. So
now, one thing I'm noticing about this is one problem I'm noticing about this is if you're already a top dasher, this screws you. Because say you unassign 6 orders, you're no longer platinum. You can no longer dash now. You're back to gold. Mm-hmm. Gold does not have a dash now.
No, it does not. It's only reserved for platinum.
So that means out of every 100 orders, you can unassign 5.
Yeah. So, okay. On top of that, the people who really get shafted here, though, are those who are already in the large order program. So, Kim, you showing off all these screenshots of these really high-paying orders. That's about to be a thing of the past if this comes to your market, because it's going to be inundated with.
See, I don't agree with on
how so?
So, because I know my area and I know the drivers in my area. Obviously, doing this like years now, all your full-time employees, not employees, your drivers, some of your part-time drivers. I know by talking to them, I'll say 85% of my market are cherry pickers and they really don't care what programs come out. So even if this did come out, they're still going to do DoorDash the way that they normally do DoorDash. So I personally don't see it as a threat, but it could be if you don't know your market and how many top dashers are actually in your market.
Okay, so I'm going to give you that one, but I'm going to throw another one at you. So hold on one second, Gary. Well, I got this on my mind. This is also extremely deceptive because we're going to start seeing drivers in small markets who have to be a top dasher to get any orders. They're going to start coming in, raising their acceptance rate to what was it, 70%? And we're going to see them all of a sudden have large order program, and it's not going to make a bit of difference in their market. Because if you're in a town of 20,000 people or less, how many large orders do you think are actually being placed? I mean, sure, you could get a unicorn, right? I've gotten unicorns. And guess what? I'm a cherry picker.
I don't know. I think it's going to be definitely market specific, just kind of like the way DoorDash tends to run. like I said, I know me and my market. I know how hard the climb is. I've done the climb so many times, like it makes my head spin, and it is difficult and it's mentally challenging because you're taking orders that you don't want to take just to raise your acceptance rate. So it just depends on if drivers are dedicated to maintaining. I think that's the key word, is maintaining. It's one thing to raise it to 70 and then, okay, I'm there, but you have to maintain that 70 in order to stay at that level. So if you're a driver willing to do that, then, and you're making your money, like go after it and go after it hard. It's going to be up to you and how you're going to make your money the most on DoorDash, whether it's cherry picking or going through one of these rewards programs.
No, I will say that people said the same thing about the Diamond program. They're like, oh, Diamond people, they get priority. Okay, well, I haven't been Diamond for a long time, and I still get catering orders every day. And one thing that you have to notice on there is it says catering bag required. I know most Dashers barely have a bag, and now they're supposed to go out and buy this $50 catering bag.
Amazon $19.99. Just saying.
I'm just saying, you get my point. I mean, there's cheap bags already.
Chris, I think this is, I think that's the biggest debate, is whether it's worth it or not.
No, it's not.
I think it is. I mean, if you can.
How is it worth it, Kim? Like, this is like the same argument that we've had all along, right? This is literally just Top Dasher with a little bit of an extra thrown in there, and the Diamond program. This is not new. Like, people are losing their freaking minds. Top Dasher.
Not if you stay platinum, you don't lose Top Dasher.
Yeah, well, you got to hope that a customer doesn't cancel their order, it's not refused at the vendor. So much stuff is out of your control for 5 unassigns.
I keep it that way every single month. Like, I never I hardly, it has to be something big for me to unassign. Like right now I'm at 99%, but throughout the month, but because of large order program, I keep it that high. So to me, I don't feel like that's the biggest issue.
We can keep fighting about these programs and whether they're worth it, and if you actually get priority and blah 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 and all that garbage. But really, at the end of the day, it just distracts drivers from what actually matters. And in my mind, that's the fact that that DoorDash specifically is not paying us reasonably for the work that we're doing, and they're resorting to tactics to trick drivers into taking these orders. And at the end of the day, that should be the real discussion, not whether you get priority or if Top Dasher is worth it. Like, where is the outrage about the pay and the lack of transparency? Like, that is what I want to see.
I think it's good in theory. I just don't think we will ever see it. If DoorDash showed full transparency, I don't, like, every Dasher would be sitting around waiting for the $20 orders, $40 orders, which I think is why they don't do full transparency, but they should do full transparency.
I'm going to say no on that, Kim.
You don't think so?
No, Grubhub shows full transparency. Grubhub orders get delivered.
Look where Grubhub is right now.
I'm just saying I
have an article just for you, Gary, today, just for Grubhub, because I knew you were going to come.
But I see it completely different, Kim. I think that it's when you start hiding information from drivers, right? I'm gonna use a town called Ferndale in my market. It's one city north of me, and almost all of the orders that are delivered in Ferndale on DoorDash are picked up in Bellingham. But because they hide tips, you're being asked to drive at the very least about 7 miles, and my market's a 275 market, so 675 is what they're showing you, right? But total might be higher. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna drive 7 to 10 miles, for it. Like, it's displaying less than $1 a mile. I'm not gonna take that risk, and it's the customer who gets screwed over, and then DoorDash gets screwed over when they inevitably have to refund a cold order. So in my mind, the lack of transparency actually hurts. Thank you, John. Good to see you, brother. So customer gets screwed, lack of transparency. That's where we were.
But I think the big misconception is, though, like everybody thinks a high acceptance rate, you don't decline. You can still decline. I decline all the crap orders, but when I maintain a higher acceptance rate, I am lucky if I see one, maybe $2.75 orders per week. So
Right,
kind
but that's right now why people are still declining the low paying offers. Once this new program rolls out, and you're trying to tell me platinum, it rolls downhill, platinum, then gold, and then silver. You're going to have them gold people that would typically decline a $4, $5 offer start accepting those just to get up to that platinum level. So now you're going to oversaturate your market. So somebody's going to have to start seeing these low paying offers.
I just think this program, as you know, we can debate it all day long, but I agree though that DoorDash has one thing in mind. How do I get all these orders delivered? And I feel like they keep coming up with these rewards and pilot programs, and they're doing whatever they need to do as a company, not thinking of the drivers to get orders delivered because that's their main focus and that's how they make their money. So I think they're greedy in the way that I'm going to make my money, I'm going to get orders delivered, despite how it affects the driver. That I'll agree on.
Yeah. So we've got a poll that I'd like to put up here. We got to move on to the next one here. So
Yep.
I just realized what time it was. All right. Will you be raising your acceptance rate or maintaining a higher acceptance rate for these perks? A, yes. B, no. Type it in the live chat, or if you are catching us on the replay, feel free to leave it in the comments. So we'll let people.
Hey, Harry.
Hey, Harry.
What's going on, Harry? So I'm
will
really
you
curious to see here.
I was going to ask you guys, because Kim asked this last night. If you had to currently have this program rolled out to you, what would you be? Gold, platinum, or silver?
I would be
Silver.
platinum.
Silver for sure. I'm not gonna be a part of the DoorDash games. I'm gonna multi-app and just avoid the garbage.
I would be gold right now.
So okay. Yeah. I think my acceptance rate's at like 9%.
Kim
Thomas,
and
thank
Zach
you.
and Gary Apps will win.
So we've got so far kind of a mixed response in the chat so far. So it seems like I haven't convinced enough people that I am right.
It's because they know you're not.
So something that I'll tell you what, something that I know you can't disagree with me on is the fact that a ton of drivers were just deactivated from DoorDash.
Mm.
Yep.
Let's talk about
Deactivation.
that. Go ahead, Kim. Why don't you?
Yeah, so it's been kind of all over YouTube, even all over Reddit, even Facebook groups, that there's been a lot of deactivations lately. And I'm not going to name, specific people, but I do know one driver, and they had thousands, literally thousands of deliveries and got deactivated. The thing with deactivations in DoorDash, which I don't agree with, is they are so vague. When you get that email and you go into your app and you say it's deactivated, you have absolutely no clue what you've done as a driver. And then they ask you to submit an appeal. And by the way, everybody should be submitting an appeal when you get deactivated. But how do you justify your appeal if you don't even know what you did as a driver? So I feel like it's a vicious cycle. And then one of the drivers that did get deactivated, they called support. Kind of love support. And they said that it was because they were making too much money. Like, why would support
What kind of
even
garbage is
say
that?
Like, why would someone say that?
If you're making money, it's because you're accepting orders, and that's exactly what they want. So what's the problem?
Right. And the company is making money at that point.
And so, and the person that you're referring to is in a very high traffic market, very, very high volume market. And so, yeah, I mean, they're probably going to have more opportunities to make better money than, somebody in a smaller market. So shocking. Imagine that. The person accepts orders and they get paid. So the question is, though, are these valid deactivations? And and I realize that usually this is kind of on a case by case basis, but every so often we see DoorDash or one of the other gig companies do kind of just this wide sweep. And, it's like they're running around with a hockey stick, just swinging it and seeing who they hit.
Which is strange, because some people that should be deactivated are not, and I'm one of those people. Not because I did anything wrong, is because DoorDash does not have my correct license on file. And in fact, this past Sunday, they ran an MVR for me, and I got the copy of it, and it says driver's license has been surrendered. That means I have no valid driver's license according to DoorDash. I can still go online and dash. How?
Oops.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that would be one of those technical ones that they would just need my new license, things like that. But still, how do you deactivate somebody that has great numbers, great deliveries, nothing wrong with their background check, but then somebody like me that should have a temporary hold at least can still dash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally don't get it. Because I feel like it's the boy who cried wolf, right? So DoorDash deactivation, but you get to somebody who actually really, not you, Gary, but you get to someone who actually deserves to be deactivated for theft or fraud or whatever. I mean, I think we covered a story a couple of weeks ago that somebody was on the platform after completing thousands of deliveries and he was waiting sentencing on a trial for, what was it? Was it murder or something like that?
It was a deadly hit and run.
Deadly hit and run. So you have someone like that still on the platform. I just don't, to me, there's just no rhyme or reason. And to my opinion, there needs to be justification to a lot of these deactivations and, shocker, transparency.
So
yeah,
we've got
get rid of the vague
reasons.
Yeah.
So we've got a poll that I'd like to put up again. And let's continue talking about this for a moment. So being is that we usually don't know why we're deactivated. Sometimes you'll get the information, but I am a big proponent of documenting what you're doing, right? Like I don't personally wear a dash cam, but I do take a lot of pictures. So I make sure to snap a picture of every address I deliver to. And whenever possible, when I'm dropping the order off, if it's going to an apartment or if the house number is visible, I always make sure to like angle my phone in a way where I can see the apartment number or the house number. So, it's little things like that you can do to make it easier that you were where you were supposed to be. But I don't think that that's what's happening here with these specific deactivations. I don't think that they were deactivated because customers were reporting that the order never showed up. I think that they were probably some sort of a glitch did this to them. What do you think? What do you guys think?
I think with vague reasons why people are deactivated, we will never know if they're justified or not, just because it's so vague. You're like, well, what does that mean? And even if you reach out to support, they're not going to tell you anything.
Yeah. And like we were talking about before, right? Part of the problem with this is you could be a great driver. You could have excellent ratings, never had a contract violation, turn on your app and then realize you're deactivated.
I tend to disagree with you, Sergio.
I gotta disagree with Sergio too. So
he just wants all the
for those of you who haven't responded to the poll yet, are these deactivations justified? A is yes, B is no. So we can we even got a couple of C's in there. That's cool.
Yeah, just real quick, one public service announcement when it comes to deactivate. Well, actually two. If you are on the DoorDash platform, and I think I've said this before, I'm going to say it again as a reminder, guys, cash out every single day, because if they even flag every day, if they flag your account, they can hold your money. Don't let all that money that you have earned yourself go to DoorDash because whatever reason they flagged it as fraudulent. Cash out every single day. It is so super important. Like, I can't stress that enough, because a lot of times I know I get people contacting me. You see it on Reddit. They held my money. Don't you earn that money? It's yours. Cash out every single day. And also, if it's just fight these deactivations.
Yeah,
So I
and
have
part
the
of the
Dash
problem
Direct
is,
card.
What?
yeah, they can't get the money back from the Dash Direct card. So
So I
No.
said that's why I have
Cash
my
out
Dash
every
Direct
single
card. I don't even have to cash out. After I end each dash, it's automatically on my card.
So
Yeah.
can we pop Chris's comment up here?
Yeah.
He said that's nothing but stealing, and that needs to be stopped immediately. That is,
I
you're completely correct. It is theft. That is exactly what it is. It's theft, and frequently, unfortunately, it takes attorneys getting involved to get these drivers their money back. So
just
it should never reach that point.
And Gary, you might know this better than I would, but I just can't wrap my brain how a company legally, and I'm sure it's terms of service, but legally can hold money that someone has actually physically earned and it's in their possession. Like I don't understand how that could be legally okay.
Well, the terms of service only say for fraud. So if it's a
Right,
fraudulent activity, they can hold it.
but then they
Now,
might as well just put everybody as fraudulent activity and then just hold everybody's money, and that's what
and
they're
that's what they do a lot.
Right.
That's what they do a lot. And what it comes down to is when that happens, you need to go contact your state, whoever you can contact in the state that takes care of it. I don't know, I'm not sure who it is. Labor Board, I think it is.
Yeah.
That takes care of that kind of stuff. Contact them and take DoorDash to arbitration. Don't forget, if you go to arbitration, it costs you $0. DoorDash pays for that.
Mhm.
So always do those two things because that money is yours and you have a right to it.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So speaking of money, New York drivers are about to see guaranteed money. We had talked about this a little while ago, and it looks like they have officially pulled the trigger on a minimum wage for drivers. Over the weekend, New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced that beginning July 12th, the city is officially raising the minimum wage for app-based delivery workers to $17.96 an hour from its current average of $7 an hour. Let's stop right here. Let's have a discussion about that. $7 an hour. Is anybody buying that New York drivers were averaging $7 an hour?
No.
No.
I actually
That's
went to
ridiculous.
New York recently. I actually went there recently to visit Kim and all them. I was taking Ubers. A 2 to 3 mile Uber ride was costing me $35. Yeah.
I believe it.
So how are they averaging
completely.
$7 an hour whenever I'm paying $35 a ride?
So, and most drivers there are using e-bikes or e-scooters, right? So I can understand that if you're accepting every order and you're in a car and you're getting stuck in traffic, that's one thing, right? But I'm sorry, if you're making $7 an hour in New York City, you're doing it wrong. So, according to there are approximately 60,000 drivers in New York City. So they plan to raise the $17.96 per hour up to $19.96 per hour by 2025. And the original proposal was that drivers were going to make $23.82 an hour. So I want to have a discussion about if this is a good thing or if this is a bad thing.
I kind of see it both ways, to be honest. I'm kind of split in the middle on this one as I was kind of reading through the article. The $17 an hour in New York City, it's not a lot to survive in New York City. It's expensive as all get out to live in New York City, even the surrounding areas of New York City. Granted, it's $17 plus tips, but still to survive, it's not a lot. However, with this pay increase from the driver's perspective and for it's gonna increase the amount for the customers. So are they going to be ordering as much because now the fees have gotten crazy? The fees are already crazy. Now they're going to get even crazier. I feel like it's like a very big vicious circle that has good and bad behind it. So like I said, I feel like I'm mixed on this one.
So I want to play devil's advocate for a moment. Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, I was just going to say, I did a quick look right now. It says a single person estimated monthly cost without rent for New York City is $1,507.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's
what was that?
rough.
$17.96. So you're talking about 2 weeks worth of work is what it takes you at this current rate to survive in New York City for 1 month. And that's without rent or anything extra.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's
So
so expensive.
So I want to pop up Kevin's comment, Kevin T. So Kevin says that offers will be few and far between. I agree with this. So it's expensive to order through these apps to begin with. It's going to cost, so it cost me, hell, I ordered lunch 2 weeks ago through DoorDash because I was like super busy. It doesn't matter. You guys don't care. It was like $30 just for me for lunch for one entree. Mind you, I tipped well, but that's expensive. And now if we're talking about adding an extra $6 to $7 on top of it, I'm sorry. That's the difference in me, being lazy and tipping well and going and getting it my damn self.
Yeah,
I could see this. I don't want to say that it's necessarily going to kill it for drivers in New York, but I think that this is going to cause a huge dent in the market there. This is not a good thing, in my opinion.
Well, it kind of, though, goes back to what we talked about last week, though, too, with like we're not seeing a lot more deliveries and we're like slowing down because people are picking up their food. Like when prices are surging, people are definitely going to start picking up their food opposed to getting it delivered. And this is another reason why people will do that.
Yeah, and we're going to start seeing drivers, and again, this is my speculation, we're going to start seeing drivers in New York City, kind of like they are in many smaller markets throughout the country, just sitting around congregating, waiting for that order to come through, because again, the customers don't want to spend that much damn money. So, I mean, there needs to be a balance between affordability and the company's making enough to keep it sustainable. But this is what happens when the government starts getting involved. And again, in my opinion, we're about to dive down this rabbit hole for a minute. The government frequently doesn't understand what gig workers want. So it's dangerous when they get involved. We're like, okay, we want transparency and we want to be able to fight unfair deactivations. They they want minimum wage and healthcare and retirement plan, which is not what most of us want.
But in the article, though, too, it said something to the fact, like DoorDash responded back saying, well, if it goes this way, Dashers really aren't going to have the flexibility and something else I think they used in the words that they're used to, and they're not going to be happy with the outcome of it. So to me, I mean, granted, I'm reading between the lines. To me, it's code for you guys are going to have to work the schedule we tell you to work.
And that could be a possibility, right? And that's something that I've heard talked about in other locations. So if you end up getting a schedule assigned to you, then how is this different from a W-2 job?
You're actually an employee at the point. If you're making $1 per hour, then you would be an employee of these companies.
I mean, in theory, you would be. You're making $1 per hour, or an hourly rate, excuse me, and you have to take the schedule that you can get. So, where's your retirement plan? Where's your health care?
Yeah, I've never seen a contractor be paid hourly with a schedule.
Right. So, this is not a good deal for drivers. This isn't good for anyone. In my opinion, this isn't good for the drivers. This isn't good for the companies because people aren't going to order and the customers are just going to go get it themselves. So they're going to lose out on the convenience of the service. So we got another poll up. Is New York's new rule going to have a negative impact on drivers? A is yes, B is no. Pop it in the chat. And if you are catching us on the replay, of course, leave it in the comments. So we'll let people chime in there. And Kim, do you want to introduce the next one?
So the next one is shop and deliver tipping etiquette. So there was a customer who put it out to actually a DoorDash group on Reddit because she didn't know how much as a shop and deliver order, she should be tipping her DoorDash driver. And she says, how much should I tip a DoorDash driver for a grocery delivery? Around $200. To me, that's a pretty big shop and deliver. I know it's not an easy job. I set it to $5, but he sends me a message asking for more politely. I live in a duplex. He may need to put up 6 steps of stairs and put them in front of my door. It's 35 degrees Celsius. I don't know what Celsius it is outside.
It's about 100
now.
degrees.
Okay, so it's really hot there. But it doesn't.
No, she said it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to me to pay 15%, which would be $30. Can he get paid from DoorDash, or does he rely on tipping? If so, I would rather not use DoorDash the next time.
So, could he get paid more from DoorDash? Yeah. Is he going to? No. So, all right. There's a few elements of this that we should talk about. But first and foremost, guys, if you're going to hit up your customers for more tips, just don't take the order.
Don't do it.
Just don't take it. Like, I'm so sick of seeing these posts. Just wait it out.
What's more concerning, she thinks $5 for a $200 order, 6 flights of steps. Come on, man. I ain't taking that order.
So, all right.
So, Gary, I know you love shop and deliver orders. I know it's your favorite thing in the entire world. Yes, I'm being really sarcastic.
She's lucky I don't just sling them back for $5.
Just yeet.
Just.
She probably didn't even mention how many cases of water she put on her order either.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, or cases of soda or something. So, all right, look, the driver has to drive to the store. They have to go and shop the order, swap out any items that they can't find. And they have to, drive to the customer's house and then unload the car.
6
Is that worth $5?
No.
Was it 6 stairs or 6 flights of stairs?
I think it was just 6 stairs.
Oh.
Okay. Either way, there were stairs. All right. That is $1 per stair, lady. I'm trying to see $1 per stair. Let's go. So, and then, and God bless her heart, because she obviously felt that $5 was reasonable.
Yeah,
to go and put it in front of a group of drivers and be like, I was going to give him a $5 whole.
Tip, yeah. But here's the thing. If we left it at the bottom of those 6 stairs, would she complain that she had to come out and get them and take them up?
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, let's have a discussion here. What is and for those of you in the chat, this is going to be another poll here in a minute, so we might as well just get ahead of this. What is a fair tip for a shop and deliver order where the
20%.
subtotal is $200?
20%.
I'd say minimum 15%. I think every platform out there that does shop and delivers, the bare minimum should start at 15% and then go up from there. There is I'm a big advocate. I do shop and delivers all the time, and I make some really good money on shop and delivers, but I'm only doing it because someone's paying me a good amount of money to do a shop and deliver. I would not do this. Like a $200 order. God, can you imagine how many units that is? That's probably like 50 to 100 units of shopping. So you're shopping for somebody, you're doing all of their substitutions in the supermarket, because no shop ever goes that smoothly on that big of an order.
Of course not.
And then you're checking out, and then you're bagging, and then you're lugging all of this to someone's door for $5. No, you're doing a lot of work for this person to sit on their butt at home, and so you can not go out and do it yourself.
But it was $5 whole, and only
it was
6
$5
stairs. Ah, man. So, all right, I want to kind of pick on my local grocery store, but specifically Instacart. So I've been getting my groceries delivered recently, and I love the convenience to just be able to sit at home, get my work done, and just have my groceries show up, right? I don't have to deal with anybody. The grocery store's website, which interfaces with Instacart, defaults to a $5 tip. Right.
That hurts my heart.
And so that kind of makes me wonder if this is maybe why this woman's like, why is he like asking me for more money?
Oh, you think she
Like-
came from Instacart to DoorDash?
Well,
Oh, yeah, good
First-
point.
can I just start with the originator of
All right,
this?
fair.
Can I start with the originator of this? The driver shouldn't
Yeah.
have taken the order. If he's asking for
The driver
more
shouldn't
money,
have.
he shouldn't have taken the order. Like, no driver should take this
So-
big of an order for a $5 tip. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
so I agree with you, but I want to play devil's advocate for just a minute here.
You're not
Let's
gonna
say that the driver was this close to unassigning it, but he's like, hey, look, this is a lot of work. You ordered some weird shit here, lady. Like, I don't know where the hell this stuff is in the store. So, can you kick me an extra $5 for my time? Like,
Why
is
would
that
you
is that okay?
No,
No.
I don't think
Never
at
okay
any
to ask
time.
customer for more
Yeah.
money now.
No.
Well, I agree with you, but again, like let's say that it was between that and the driver's about to unassign it. Because you know what? Hey, no shame. I have unassigned shop orders after finding most of the items. Yeah.
Unassigned. I haven't unassigned an order mid shop. I got
I
an
have.
Uber Eats. Oh, I haven't. I've unassigned an order last week. It was an Uber Eats order. It came through as $31, and I'm like, score. And it was only like 17 items. Yeah,
Mhm.
10 of those items were 10 cases of water. But Uber
Nope.
Eats doesn't display on their shit. I'm like, I got rid of it so quickly. First of all, 10 cases of water wouldn't fit in my car to begin with. But
Yeah,
I got rid
no,
of
that's
it
a hard
so
pass.
quickly. I did not care about a completion or whatever. That rating, I'm like, I did not care whatsoever. I'm like, done. I'm out. I can't
That's
do
the kind
it.
of stuff that that's the kind of stuff you're gonna see being picked up from Walmart on Uber.
That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of a
Yeah.
Spark order that you would like look
right.
at it and go, are you kidding me? Ugh.
Yeah, Walmart's in my area are like, yeah, no Spark driver's gonna take this. We're just gonna go ahead and send that one to Roadie or to
Yeah.
Uber. So
Yeah.
all right. So I think that the minimum that you should ever tip somebody is I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw it out there, $20. Like, I think $20 is fair. That's usually what I
No.
tip.
See, I don't agree. If it's only like 2 or 3 items, are you really going to tip your driver still $20?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I don't
personally
think
am. Because so again, the proximity of the grocery stores to where I live, the fact that they have to drive to them, shop the items, wait in line, and then bring them to me, I think it's worth $20 in the form of a tip. So, for those of you who are in the chat right now, if you would mind letting us know your opinion on this, what is the least that a customer should tip for a shop and deliver order? Pop it in the chat or in the comments on the replay.
Oh, they agree with
So-
me and Kim.
Okay. So we've got, well, I agree with Chris, 25% of the total order. That's not bad.
I
Raised
just
on
think it should
Scrabble.
be bigger than a food delivery order, period. Like, it's a lot
It
more
should be.
work intensive and it's a lot more work involved. It should automatically be whatever you think of your food delivery driver, it should be more.
So I don't know. Honestly, I think $20 minimum is fair, honestly, with as much work as we're having to do. All right, Kim, we gotta move on here. Do you want to read off the next one?
Yep. Free
All right.
dash cam. Who wants a free dash cam?
Yeah. I'll take
So, RideShare food delivery drivers can now receive free dash cams in the new DC safety program, which is actually pretty awesome. So, there was an article that Doordash is teamed up with Washington, D.C., and the legislation in Washington, D.C. And now eligible rideshare and food delivery drivers can receive free dash cams as part of a safety initiative to keep workers safe. It's a $500,000 investment, and the program is developed to help law enforcement with investigation efforts throughout the entire city.
So it's cool that DoorDash is helping out with getting these drivers cameras in their car. But honestly, wouldn't that money be better served for crime prevention in the first place rather than something that records the crime and then gets solved later?
Yes and no. I just think that with kind of the crime that's been happening with rideshare and food delivery drivers, I think it
Hmm.
actually lends a helping hand to help fighting crime in itself because, it might not even happen. I'm making this up. It might not happen to the individual driver. It might, but it might not. But say there's a traffic accident or, God forbid, something worse, and like a dash cam actually catches it, it really does help the city with the crime and actually the investigations that are,
Yeah.
leading up to some of these.
So, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you there. My whole thing is though, is I would rather see money invested in preventing crime than a tool that can help them catch the criminal after the fact.
Yeah, but
So
sometimes cameras though they help prevent crimes too.
Mm.
that's fair. That's fair. But again, so do more cops on the streets.
No.
I
I
and it
mean, come
makes
on. In most cities, you could probably hire at least 10 more cops for what they, per year for what they just invested.
Yeah, but whenever you're talking about drivers, for example, this is going to help more than just crime, though. It's going to help any type of insurance fraud. It's going to help, who's at fault. It will deter some, not all, people that get in a car for rideshare and go, oh, there's a dash cam. I better act straight.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'm not disagreeing with you guys there. I just ultimately see the money being spent better elsewhere. So it's not, I don't disagree. I do not.
I just think, but a city like DC, who already probably has, and I don't know their crime rate numbers whatsoever, but in
high.
cities that have higher crime rate, $500,000 isn't really going to help decrease their crime rate. Whereas they're putting it to good use for drivers to help protect them and also, hopefully fight crime a little differently than just putting money into a town with already a high crime rate.
They have a 30% crime rate right now.
Ooh. Per 100,000?
It doesn't say. It just says It says all crime total 2023 currently. And keep in mind, we're only halfway through the year. They're at 28% over all crimes.
So I think DoorDash this is a team venture between Washington, D.C. and DoorDash. And they've already teamed up to put cameras in homes and businesses, and now they're doing it for rideshare and delivery drivers. But I think that this sends a pretty strong message for drivers specifically that DoorDash is actually going to take the footage that you send them when you get deactivated and reactivate you if you can prove that you didn't actually do what they claimed you did, right? I mean, in theory. You understand what I'm getting at?
Except for in the past, we know that these companies don't accept footage from your dash cams.
Right. So, but now, and that's kind of my point. And now we're seeing them trying to throw dash cams in people's cars. So they better start accepting that footage.
Are you thinking it's a little too Big Brother?
Not necessarily. My whole thing is more prevent it from happening in the first place. Like should drivers have dash cams? Probably. But I think that they could do more on a city level to prevent it probably than, just my perspective.
Got it. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. This one I'm actually really excited for.
Okay.
Because justice was served. A scammer gets caught. Right. The man accused of scamming DoorDash drivers out of $950,000 gets caught.
That is not a small amount.
No.
So this guy, 21 years old, from Mount Vernon, New York. Okay. Police were originally put onto this after he got into a domestic disturbance with somebody else in his apartment building. And when the police showed up, they found and confiscated $733,000 in cash, as well as a bunch of payment cards and 2 fake IDs from the state of California. So on the night of the incident where the police showed up, he was arrested and charged with the domestic disturbance, but he wasn't charged with fraud yet. However, the FBI came kicking his door down on June 5th, and he was ultimately arrested for defrauding drivers out of upwards of $750,000. I love it when they get caught.
That's fantastic.
You always wonder, like when you hear, like if you ever heard anybody, oh, I got this text message, blah blah blah. You're like, who does that work on? But this shows that people fall for it.
People fall
and you
for
should,
it.
you should not click on any links sent to you. Do not give out verification codes sent to you.
So this is what the guy did to get the scam. So he would randomly choose a restaurant, primarily in California, and start a DoorDash delivery to a nearby address. Once the food delivery was en route, Smith would contact the driver, reporting to be supposedly being a DoorDash support person, saying that there is an issue with the order and the driver's account was frozen. He would then send a verification code to the driver or a phishing website link that appeared to be a DoorDash login in order to gain access to their accounts. Once he was in their accounts, he would change their deposit information to the cards that he was depositing all their stuff into.
So I said, you don't think that this works whenever you see it yourself. Like if anybody's ever been scammed, you're like, I ain't doing that. Like I've had scammers back in the past whenever I drove Uber. You'd show up and they'd be like, oh, you need to cancel the ride, or well, I'm not canceling that. You cancel. And then like I'll sit there and wait for that timer. And I actually had one call me and was trying to get my bank, my security code for Uber. I was like, oh, start ride, started driving. I knew it was a scam. I mean, might as well charge the guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we talk about all of these stories about drivers getting scammed, and Zach and I were talking about this before, we always thought that it was honestly people like overseas doing this. This is like domestic, like actually in the United States.
The guy's name is Smith. The guy's name is Smith. Like I've had Indian scammers call me in that thick accent. This is Agent Smith. Actually, I just had one do that when I was filming a video, and I was like, yeah, okay, you're Agent Smith. Sure, buddy. Click. So guys, it happens.
So you think he got away with it? Do you think this guy got away with it because he was, English speaking?
That's actually a very interesting thought. I see, for me, knowing how they do their support, that would have put me on edge too. The fact that it was,
like, hey, where's your chicken? English I don't hear your chicken.
I don't hear the roosters in the background.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? That is VIP Dash support right there. So, I could see how that would probably help the guys scam a little bit, right? Like I'm not, if somebody called me, hey, I'm with your cell phone company, we're having problems with your phone. Can you go and click this? We're going to update whatever, right? Like I'm not going to question that as much as, I hate to stereotype, but I'm not going to question it quite as much as.
When I saw this, I'm like, he's a dumbass because he got caught because of the domestic dispute.
Right.
Like you don't get caught because you have stacks of cash in your building. You get caught because of a domestic dispute. Really? Right.
That's like getting busted for murder because you had the body in the back and you were speeding.
Right. Yeah. You don't break any. If you're going to be a criminal, be a smart one. Don't break any laws.
I just
have no reason for a cop to be there.
Yeah.
I just don't
if
get
you're going
it.
to be a criminal, don't break any laws. So
I mean, that's a good advice, right?
It's good advice. Yeah, you should never break the law. All right, guys, we've got one more story and a couple funnies. We're gonna try to breeze through this last one because we're running low on time.
Gary,
Grubhub
this one is for you. I put this article in just for you because Gary loves Grubhub.
I do love Grubhub.
So,
in fact, I got a free year of Grubhub Plus again. I'm excited. Amazon's hooking me up.
So Grubhub is laying off 15% of their corporate workforce. That's not a good sign for them as a company.
Every company lays off. Every company every year lays off 15-20% every year. And then they
So,
go back,
right,
hire again.
and then they hire. But I don't think we're going to see Grubhub hiring any new people.
I do.
Just
Once
my personal
Amazon buys
speculation.
them. I think once Amazon buys them, they're going to be hiring
Well,
like crazy.
But then they won't be
So,
Grubhub
okay,
anymore.
like-
They'll be Amazon Grub.
No, they'll still be Grubhub.
let's take the speculation out of it for just a moment, though. Let's say that they're not for sale, right? They're just struggling, flailing in the water. Are they going to survive?
I mean, as much as Lyft.
Yeah.
They
So,
should
I mean,
combine for-
here's the thing. Don't give up on my Grubhub, people. I'm just
Gary,
saying,
I
because
Grubhub.
for years people have been like, "Oh, Grubhub's going down. Grubhub's going down." Guess what? They've been consistent for years, and they're probably one of the least platforms that we ever hear anything negative about. Sure, they don't have the market share like they used to, things like
They have
that.
6%.
But yeah, I would not give up on my Grubhub because Amazon is going to buy out my Grubhub. I feel it.
See, I agree with Chris. On
I
this
could see that
one.
happening.
Grubhub Lyft
I don't.
partnership. I could see that happening.
I don't.
No,
I
don't.
could see it.
That's like
I could
taking
see it.
a ship that's
Two
on
shaking
fire
ships
and
next
throwing
to
more
each other.
gasoline on it.
I know. That's like, do you have two dumpsters to light on fire?
Right.
I don't know. Like,
So-
but me, like my own self with Grubhub, I turned Grubhub on during. I did like a
No offense,
late
Chris.
afternoon to early afternoon, and I had it on for 3 hours. I did not get one cowbell in 3 hours. Like, I
But you
used
wasn't
to
on
leave-
block though either.
No, but I've never had that issue before. Like, even months before, like I always used Grubhub for. I would never go on block. I would just turn it on, and orders would still come in, but I would wait for like those really good paying Grubhub orders. We all know them to be, and that's how I use them in my multi-apping. Now I turn them on and literally radio silence.
Do you know how bad of a mood killer it is when you turn on the Grubhub app and you forget that you left it on because you haven't heard it all day, and then like 9 hours later you're trying to Netflix and chill with somebody, right? And that cowbell goes off and destroys the mood, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Garbage."
The cow in the next room.
Declined it anyway.
Right? It's a decline. That's what that was. Where were we? So
I still like
got-
Grubhub. I don't care. I still like Grubhub.
I mean, every so often you
And
still see a good
let's be real. They could probably lay off 15 of their corporate employees. If they're doing this bad, those people sucked anyways. Let's just be honest.
I saw
They're gonna-
more.
They're gonna hire back better.
I always feel like singing the Alicia Keys song, Grubhub's going down.
Not bad.
Right?
So we've got a couple funnies for you to wrap this up here. There was supposed to be another one. I didn't understand the humor, so Kim and Gary
didn't
promised me that it made
understand
sense. I didn't get it.
Sense.
Kim and Gary both understood it. I didn't. So I'm like, I don't know if I was supposed to put that in there. So anyway, so
I'll put
this
it in
one
next
I
week.
put. So this one I put. I see a problem. And then Kim, are you able to read that off?
Let me see whether I can pull it up. I don't know. Hold on.
Okay.
Says,
I
hi,
might-
this is your Uber driver. Blank, usually don't do this. Is there any way you could send me $6 on Cash App for gas and something to eat? I would be more than happy to send it back tonight. When get done working, I left my wallet at home and I don't have any cash on me whatsoever. My Cash App is whatever.
So anybody see a problem with that?
Don't ever ask your customers for extra money.
Other
period.
than the fact that they asked for money.
How's he gonna get gas if he ain't got his wallet, even through Cash App?
Well, that's a valid point. I mean, I suppose you could use that, but there's another problem here. So, okay. Hi, this is whoever, your Uber driver. Okay. There's the problem right there. Their Uber driver is sending
Oh
them a
yeah,
text.
Uber, not even Uber Eats.
Hmm.
He wants
But-
something to eat and gas.
But it's through a text. It's not the in-app chat. I have never once seen an Uber message go through a text. Has that ever been a thing?
It used to, if the customer did not link a like their in-app chat, if they didn't link it in the app or something, it used to go through the phone numbers, kind of like some DoorDash still does. If you go to hit the chat, it'll open up your text message instead. Uber used to do the same thing, but I thought
They don't do that anymore, though.
Yeah, I thought for the last at least 3 years, it's always been in-app chat.
Yeah.
So this was posted 2 days ago. So
I think it was DoorDash.
It's possible, but again, almost all of those go through the app now. So, and if it were DoorDash,
that's why they switched to that. Yeah, that's why they switched to it, to stop stuff like this.
Yeah. So I think that this is an example of somebody who made some stuff up that didn't actually happen, and yeah. We've got, I think, one more funny for you guys. I found that funny. I don't know. Maybe we have the reverse here.
One with
you guys don't see the humor. Yeah. All right. So the delivery instructions on this: earmuff your kids if you've got them around, because there's a little bit of a word in here. It says pie cut, pie cut, pie cut, pie cut, pie cut. I swear, a thin crust, pie cut, fuck. I think they might have wanted pie cut.
I think they did want a pie cut.
How would you guys react if you saw that?
That's
the delivery instructions.
I've actually worked at a pizza place for a very long time, and you will not believe how many people like just blow up the little comment sections on what they want. Like, people don't read it.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. So I mean, but I've also seen people, my own employees. I go to box something up. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, it says right here on the box, pie cut. So then we have to remake.
I don't even know what a pie cut is, but it's in the delivery instructions. I wish people would stop doing that. Quit putting instructions in the delivery instructions if it's for the restaurant. Well, because I can't control the pie cut or the cake cut or whatever kind of cut it is.
Well, a pie cut is like your regular slice of pizza, kind of like you cut a pie, cut it across, you cut out the little, like that. That's a pie cut.
Okay.
Most thin crust pizzas now come in square cut. Okay. So if you get thin crust and you don't want it square cut, you have to ask for a pie cut.
Okay. So
hence why they kept screwing up this lady's order.
So we're Kim's computer just froze, and she is the one with access to ending the stream. So Gary, what's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing. Just hanging out. Got lots coming up. Got some updates coming out for Gig Wars, by the way.
Okay.
Canada people, you should be happy soon.
Oh, yeah. Little plug there, huh?
Yeah.
So, what do you think the likelihood is that what were the odds? Did you happen to catch those that Sergio?
Oh yeah, that Sergio was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
what
said,
are
I'm not a gambling man, but it was, what was it, like negative 250 plus for Kim, plus 200 to you?
Okay.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're better odds or she's better odds?
I think he's saying that Kim has a higher chance of winning that.
If I'm not mistaken. I thought we established that.
No, see, you guys established that. I know what I'm capable of. Kim, are you there? I thought I heard her for a second.
I heard her for a split second, and then she went back off again.
Okay. So we're stream trapped, folks.
Yeah, we're trapped. So now everybody just has to put up with us. And see, they were trying to rush to end and everything. So, and blame me. I think it's supposed to be an hour show, right?
Yeah, we aim for about an hour. It's not the biggest deal in the world if we go over.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I heard her.
See, I heard her again.
Back. Hold on.
Okay.
Hashtag live stream problems. Oh, hey, there we go.
There you are.
On that note, why don't we go ahead and wrap it up here? Gary, one more time, where can people find you?
Gary'sApps.com.
All right. Social media?
Gig Wars Official. Yeah, I mean, I got Gig Wars official. Facebook, look for Gary Middleton. Twitter, Middleton Tech. I think that's about all of them, really. I don't really
Okay.
do a lot of social media, just
Okay.
YouTube.
All right. So GaryZapps.com, check them out. For those of you who joined us on the live, I'd like to thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Special thank you to Gary Middleton, our guest of the evening. Thank you for taking time out of your night to be here with us. We appreciate you. We will see you all next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for Money Hungry. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Right.